Kiss.
Yo, it's your boy Mike Smith, also known as AK's, also known as the coolest guy in sports. Welcome back to another overrated versus underrated. This time I have Jayson Tatum on the menu in the 2018-2019 NBA season. Was Jayson Tatum overrated or underrated? 79 games he played this year, 31.1 minutes per game, 15.7 points per game, 45% from the field, 37.3 from the three-point line, 6 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 0.7 blocks per game, 1.1 steals, 85.5% from the free throw line. That being said, was Jayson Tatum overrated or underrated in the 2018-2019 NBA season? Now, Jayson Tatum has a lot of potential. Jayson Tatum came in the 2018-2019 with a lot of hype based on that crazy 2018 playoffs that he had, where he was the best player on the Boston Celtics team, and he showed a lot of potential, showed that he can be possibly a future superstar. So everybody had super high expectations for him, like he's a top 5 player in the Eastern Conference. That was the talk before the season even started. He was one of the best players, top 5, top 3, and it was just crazy hype expectations. You heard Ben Simmons talking about how the Boston Celtics was going to win 60 games and how everybody was talking about they're going to run their offense through Jayson Tatum instead of Kyrie Irving, and it was just a lot of hype surrounded by Jayson Tatum. But that does not mean he's necessarily overrated, but it does mean he could have been a little bit overhyped this regular season, especially for a guy that really didn't get the same opportunity he had last year, similar to Jaylen Brown, similar to, the Al Horfords of the world, because Kyrie Irving came back and Gordon Hayward came back, and they put Gordon Hayward right in the thick of the starting lineup in the beginning of the season, and basically that kind of messed up the entire flow of the Boston Celtics. That's where I thought they went wrong from the jump, inserting Gordon Hayward and basically taking away some of the touches that Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum got while Gordon Hayward wasn't playing. And then you have Kyrie Irving, who's a ball-dominant point guard, and Kyrie Irving, who's clearly was the best player on the team, but everybody knows that Jayson Tatum's the future. And then you had the Anthony Davis rumors and stuff, like they were going to trade Jayson Tatum for Anthony Davis, and there's still rumors that he may be traded for Anthony Davis. So Jayson Tatum had to deal with that as well. So Jayson Tatum, really, this season compared to his rookie season, it was the same. He really didn't get better his sophomore season compared to his rookie season. And maybe that's because Gordon Hayward and Jayson Tatum came back, or maybe that was just because people put too much expectations and hype around Jayson Tatum too soon. He's only 21 years old, and I still think he's going to be a phenomenal NBA player, a potential NBA star. He can already score at all 3 levels. Once he gets the flow of the game and actually has a team run their system through him and believe in him, he's going to be a stud. And you're going to see his confidence improve. You're going to see his numbers improve. You're going to see a whole type of different player. I believe that if Jayson Tatum is with the Boston Celtics and they don't get Anthony Davis, or he's traded to the New Orleans Pelicans for Anthony Davis, you're going to see a team that's going to basically make him, the number one option on the team, and make him be the main guy and allow him to showcase his ability and showcase his skills. Like I said, he can score at all 3 levels already at 21 years old. He can play the 3, the 4, and the 2. He's very special. If he can work on his defensive abilities as well, he's going to be a stud. And I believe that he can be impactful. But this season, the 2018-2019 NBA regular season, not only was I a little disappointed in Jayson Tatum a little bit because he didn't really necessarily improve at all. He kind of, he kind of dropped off a little bit when you look at his numbers and his stats compared to his rookie season. It's kind of the same. It was not really an improvement, and it was a little bit of a drop-off. But that wasn't just because of his fault and him not being aggressive and him not being able to, showcase his ability. It was mainly because of the Boston Celtics just had too much talent, and then that's Brad Stevens didn't know how to make adjustments to who's going to be this person, who's going to be that person, who's going to be basically the superstar, who's going to be the second superstar. Basically, he didn't know how to give roles to his players, and so when you have a team that's so talented and nobody really has roles on the team, everybody know Kyrie Irving was going to be the man, but even Kyrie Irving felt like he was handcuffed a little bit because he wasn't allowed to do what he wanted to do or some of the stuff that he was accustomed to doing with the Cleveland Cavaliers, taking a lot of shots per game, having the ball in his hands a lot. The Boston Celtics offense was very, very weird. It was kind of like they didn't utilize Kyrie Irving the way that they should have, even though a lot of times they were running a four out, one in type of offense, but it was just kind of like the way that they did it didn't allow Kyrie to really take over the way he's normally taken over games within the playoffs, also within the regular season as well, like he did with the Cavaliers. He looked like a totally different player playing with the Boston Celtics than he did with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Maybe that's because of the LeBron James effect, or maybe that's because of the offense that Brad Stevens was running and that they really wasn't getting him easy buckets or really calling plays for Kyrie Irving. It was more so Kyrie Irving has the ball on the top, dribble, try to get into the rim, kick it out, and the other person do the same thing. Jayson Tatum try to attack. If he can't get to the rim, kick it out. 4 out, 1 in offense. I would have liked to see a little bit more ball movement. I would like to see him a little bit more back cuts. I would like to see a little bit more dribble handoffs for Kyrie Irving, pick and roll for Kyrie Irving, allow him to either get to the rim and finish, because he's one of the greatest. He's probably the greatest point guard ever to finish at the rim. That's how talented he is. He's the most skillful point guard in the NBA, I believe, and probably all time if we're just talking about skill-wise at the point guard position. So that was my problem with the Boston Celtics, and maybe that was the problem with Jayson Tatum, because Jayson Tatum necessarily didn't have a role. Jayson Tatum necessarily didn't have the ball in his hands, and he wasn't really the number one option, and it was like rumors and kind of expectations for Jayson Tatum to be kind of like the number one option. People were saying that the Boston Celtics was going to run their offense through Jayson Tatum. He was a 6'9" small forward that can score at all 3 levels. And people were like, well, we're gonna give him, the keys to the offense. And then, that really didn't happen because you had Kyrie Irving on your team, and Kyrie Irving wants to be the man, and Kyrie Irving is the best player, but Jayson Tatum had the most potential on the Boston Celtics. So I don't believe Kyrie Irving's coming back. I don't necessarily believe that Anthony Davis is going to be traded to the Boston Celtics. This doesn't make sense for the New Orleans Pelicans. The Boston Celtics ready to trade for Anthony Davis, possibly for a 1-year rental. You give up your best player and your best talent in Jayson Tatum, who you can run your offense through. And we've seen it in the 2018 NBA playoffs. When given the opportunity, when given the confidence, showing that we believe in you, then Jayson Tatum is a totally different player. But this season, was he a little overrated? I guess you could say he was a little overrated, a little overhyped, due to the fact of a lot of things that was out of his control. But it's still his numbers, his stats decreased from his rookie season, and he really didn't improve off of his rookie season the way I would have liked him to have improved. Now, it's because of those things that I may have mentioned, but I guess we do have to say that in the 2018-2019 season, he was a little overhyped. He was a little bit overrated. But as a player going forward and for his potential, I still believe that he can be a top 10 player in this game, a top 5 player someday in this game, and a potential MVP candidate. That's the type of talent that he has. Like I said, he can score at all 3 levels already at 21 years old. The sky's the limit for Jayson Tatum. But the 2018-2019 NBA season, I got to say he was a little bit overrated. But let me know in the comments below. Are you guys rolling with overrated or underrated? It's your boy, My K Smith, also known as AKIS. Don't forget to join the movement, AKIS Nation. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. Support. I'm gone, man. Peace.